Hey, why not come hang out with DJ Strick, huh? Yes, it is Sunday, Jeremy. So you know what that means. At some point on Sunday, you're going to get an opportunity to hang out with DJ Strick. And I am so excited to be here today to be able to hang out with you guys. And I feel like, based on some of the things that we've talked about in the past, this may be a great episode for you. So, if that's the case, I need you to let me know you're here hanging out with me. All you need to do is just make a comment. Hey, Strick, I am here, just like Jeremy has done. And also let me know where you're watching from. That's a big deal, too. So for a couple of weeks, I have been talking about how to do animations and how to add things to your content, how to repurpose your content, and basically imagining something different from the long form content. But I wanted to kind of go back just a step because someone asked me, hey, Strick, can you please give us, how do you do this? Show us how this is actually done. So what I'm doing today is going to go through how to repurpose like a pro, but basically repurposing your long form content. And next week, I'm going to go through how to actually repurpose with the animation. So if you want to reimagine something, I'm going to show you that next week. I wanted to kind of go back to this, start with repurposing the long form content first, so you get a great idea of how to do that. And then we'll do repurposing some of your long form content so that we can actually, do our very best job to be discoverable, because that's the reason why we do it all, right? That's the reason why we do it. Hey, you're back in the room. I can't stay long, and I promise to behave. Please behave, and I definitely thank you, Val, for coming through tonight. That's a big deal to us. So what you see on the screen is a QR code for the notes for today. So if you would like to get the notes, it's a guide that I'm using to talk about how to repurpose like a pro. All you have to do is scan that, and I will actually put this in, if I can remember, I'll put the actual link inside of, I didn't put it inside of the description, so I might have to go back and do that, but I'll put it in the comments so you guys can actually find it. It is on my website, strickcity.com and / repurpose like a pro. That's really, really simple. There she is. Marianne is hanging out with us. And I always like that she puts that. I mean, I guess I do ask people, hey, where you from? So hopefully I spelled this right. If I didn't, just let me know. I think so. That looks right. So that's the link to actually get the guide. It's one of those things that you put your name, email address, and then you download it, and it's a PDF file, and you're able to get the guide. It's really that simple. I'll keep up. Hey, Robin from Philly hanging up with us today. I will definitely be sure that we'll keep everything in order so you can kind of follow along, and I will keep the QR code up as well. So if people come on, just let them know the QR code for the guide is on the screen. So that's every time I'm on this screen, you'll be able to see it. And if anybody has any stories or anything like that, or any questions about what we're doing, and thanks, Val. I did spell something right on screen for the first time. I will mess something up really, really quick while I'm trying to talk and type and also remember which direction I'm going. Sometimes it can be a struggle. That being said, guys, as you come in, there's my guy Billy hanging out with us today. I really appreciate you coming through, Billy. This will be easy stuff for you, but I wanted to kind of get started with it because you guys have already spent the time to do the long form content. This is, to be honest with you, I recommend this. I am a YouTuber, right? And I think all of the other platforms, TikTok is really, really good to connect with people. Facebook, I still post there. Instagram, I really, really like Instagram, but it doesn't lead to a lot of things. You can't really monetize as well. That being said, it's an opportunity for on all of these other platforms, I like LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn for the B2B opportunities that you may have. You're using those platforms for what we call discoverable content. When I am on TikTok, I promise you I'm scrolling. All right. So I'm looking for something quick. I'm looking for something a minute, minute and a half worth of content. Every now and again, someone says something very, very interesting. And um, it really catches my attention. I want more. So if I want more, guess what? On TikTok, I just swipe to the left and you can see their channel and get part twos and all of that kind of stuff. So Billy says, no, I really need help with this repurposing. Billy, you're in the right place. I just made my first TikTok post. Robin, that's really, really cool. I like TikTok, so who knows? I may find you over there. All of my stuff is DJ Strick, so if you ever want to find me, just look up DJ Strick and you got me. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into the first one. When you're thinking about long form content, you already made the video, right? Videos made. Lights just went out in here, but we're going to make that work. You've already made the video and the content is there. You want to identify as best you can the important parts of your video. All right. So find your most valuable and engaging moments, and you want to make a note of all of that. Okay. You want to make a note of, man, I said this, I want to use this, I want to use that. And as you review, so you want to review it all, your long form content, note any sections that kind of really stand out to you. Now there's Descript. You can always replay from Ecamm, and if you are live with Ecamm, you can actually hit the M button, and with the M button, it will actually mark where you were inside of the video. So when you do it again, you should be able to find that mark. That being said, Descript will help you because you can look at Descript as a software. You have the video and you have the transcript, and you can figure out what you were saying when and how that really works. I have people that are using Descript as a way to do their short form content, and it works for them. Okay, so I have another way that I do it, but I really like the opportunity of using Descript or replaying through Ecamm to figure out what you really want to say. Right? Now I have something going on. I don't know why the power went out, but I have to get back to my banner. So just give me a second to do that. This is what happens when you have when you are live, right? And you guys are seeing this in real time. I don't know why the power dropped, but it did. And it'll just take me 1 second here to get my banner back up. So while I do that, and everybody's talking to Val, like let's just communicate with Val for a minute. Why not, right? She's a cool lady. Maybe we can get her to sing a song while I do this. And it did take me any time. This is really how fast it takes me to pull that back up. Boom, and I'm in it all over again. So that's the first thing you want to do. All right. The second thing you want to do is you want to get the clips. You want to get the clips. This is my secret. Okay. So as you're editing clips like Strick, how do we do that? Now, the goal is to work smarter and not harder with getting these clips. I use Opus Clips. So that's my secret. It's out. Yes, Jeremy, live does happen, right? So there you go. Valerie is amazing. I think Valerie is a really cool lady too. All right, so Opus Clips, not only like when you use that, you put your long form content inside of Opus Clips. Opus then goes through your content, and I have an interview style show, so it will actually put it to where either I'm asking the question, the person responds, or it's just something I said. I really like to keep it around 30 to 90 seconds. Anything in that area, I am cool with. So 30 to 90 seconds, I'm really cool with Opus Clips. I can filter that. So I don't, I tell it don't do any 2-minute clips, all that kind of stuff. Just keep it below 90 and we're fine. Now, do you use clip? Do you use the top 3 Opus Clips? So that's a good question. I actually use, so if it gives me, 12 to 15. I'm scrolling through all of them. I use more than 3. I'm really looking to get 5 to 7 clips from Opus. Okay, 5 to 7 clips. And the reason why I'm doing that is, okay, if I get 5 to 7 good clips, maybe I don't use all the 7. I definitely need all of the 5 because I am dropping those every day. And sometimes I would drop multiple times a day. A lot of my people are watching at 9 o'clock, and some of them also catch my content after lunch, 1 to 2 o'clock. So guess what? I'm dropping some days multiple times to be sure that I can get some traction. Now, it may not work for everybody. I would recommend if you're getting started, and I'm talking to my guy Billy, I would do 1 a day and see how it goes. So if you're using past content, because sometimes I record mine so I can actually put it in Opus Clips before the whole show kind of drops. But if you're doing long form content as a live, you have another 7 days before you do your next live. So what I would recommend is 5 days of dropping content from your past live, some really, really good shorts. All right. I will put this shorts on YouTube, Reels, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, and TikTok. And I would see how those things go. Okay. The next 2 days leading up to my show, I am starting to advertise for the next show, my next live stream. So I'm using graphics and all of that for my next live stream. Okay, I got a couple of questions here. I want to be sure I get to them. How much editing do you do when you get 5 to 7 clips? That is a really, really good question, Valerie. And I am different from most. Val, okay? I had to preface that with this because I'm going to tell you another secret. Don't tell nobody this secret. This is what Strick does. And this is, I'm going to say this. When I do it this way, I haven't seen a video yet go viral. So take it for what it is. I think it looks great, but I haven't seen one hit the moon. And it may be something I'm doing or other people. I use another app called Captions. Opus Clips helps me get the clips that I want. Okay? But I don't let it do the captions for me. I just take those clips. Let me get it out today. I take those clips, Val, and then I put it into Captions. And Captions has a AI editor. And what it does, it has about 8 or 9 different edit formats. And I choose the format that I like for that particular video. And I'll allow the app Captions to caption it, and sometimes create B-roll content at the same time. I said, man, I really need to pull this up so people can see it, and I didn't do that. So thank you so very much for not telling my secret. It takes time to do it that way. That is a good question. How much does this cost, right? Excuse me, what is the priority of how you post? So I like to post my best one. The priority is posting the best short that I have. So with Opus Clips, I like it because it generates those virality scores that tells you why. It does a couple things for me. It tells me why this particular short that it chose will probably connect with your audience, and it gives you a virality score and tells you why. It also gives you a description of what that short is, and then it also gives you the transcript of what's being said in that short. Now, I don't take the transcript, and I actually delete it so it doesn't have, so what I get is a raw version of that clip from Opus that I then throw into Captions. Captions does the AI edit, which does real captions inside of that video. And it also does the B-roll for me. Now, I do have control with the B-roll, and I think that's the next portion. Sometimes it may not give me a picture of what I really like in the B-roll, so I may replace it. It gives you an opportunity to upload your own picture or to use AI and generate a picture that you would like better by just putting in a prompt to reprompt that image that it used for B-roll. Now I'm going to stop right there because I said a lot. I want to be sure that you guys get that. Okay, I want to be sure that you get that. I want to be sure I go back here and answer any questions I may have missed. Jeremy says he spent an entire week filming hours of aviation content, picked about 25-second clips of a rare play taken off, edited, and posted it. Sometimes old school works. Hey, brother, you are so right about that. Sometimes old school works, and it can take you some time. But I want to get this. What is the priority of how you post? So I actually post leading up to my shows. So I do the opposite. So not just this live show. So I have a show called Strick City Live that is based out of Birmingham, where I interview Birmingham people. And I actually load that show up into YouTube, and I use transcripts that I may get from Descript, and I chop everything down. I mean, I'm trying my very best to give so much content around that show. People are also seeing these shorts, right? They're seeing these shorts and they're responding to it, and it have links. I'm going to go through more of this to tell you what you need to do with the links to engage people and how you post a link. Like in Instagram, you're able to post a link to whatever the long form content. You can do that inside of your stories, right? So those are ways you can do it. I was editing a clip in Opus and found it okay. Your secret sounds like a better way. Now, Robin, my secret for me works. But like I said, I want to preface that it with, man, I hadn't had one go viral. I mean, a couple of thousand views. I appreciate the 1,000 views. Okay. But I'm saying that because somebody would say, that's a lot of work, Strick. I just take my Opus clips and put it in there. And people have been doing that. My idea is I want to do whatever I can within the first 2 seconds. Like they hit the live. I want to be sure that when they see my short, it is what we call a scroll stopper. So whatever I can do, inside of your hook, you have a visual hook and an audio hook. So like a sound hook, and then what you're saying, all of that works to get people to stop the scroll. Using captions in their AI gives me additional tools that I may not be thinking about to help that happen. Okay? So, you see, Marianne says, I have paid Opus clips, but I don't like what it spits out. So I am doing things manually, and it's getting me better results. That may work for you. Like I said, with Opus, it does give you those virality scores, but you're able to edit that as well. So you can go a couple of seconds ahead of time. You can cut it short. There are things that you can do. Now, the object, Marianne, everybody that's listening to this, is to find something that works for you. If you're live streaming inside of Ecamm, you have a way to be able to hit markers inside of the video so you can go back to those markers, and it can help you get to where you want to go faster when you're trying to repurpose the long form content as well. So Ecamm is a great, great tool for that. All right, I'm on it right now, and I have so many long videos that I just waste. Thanks for the inspiration, Billy. I'm telling you, like, this will help you. And what we're trying to do, the object of this game, all right, is to get more discoverable content out on social media. You've already done the work. All right. All you're doing is repurposing the long form content so people can then see it. And there's a variety of ways that you can connect with a customer, a client, or anything like that. I want to remind everybody that on the screen I have the QR code for the guide for this. So I'm just on step number 2. But if you want to get the whole guide of what I'm talking about, it's completely free. Just put in your name and email address and it comes. You can download it and kind of follow along. But if I miss anything, you have the guide to be able to go back and get all of the points for us tonight, okay? Exactly, find something that works best for you is the best advice. Yes, Val. If people can actually figure out what works best for them. Now, I've learned that, yes, there's quick ways to do things, but sometimes going the long route, the long way around for what we're trying to do can help one or two things. So you say, hey, man, I'm building all this content and I really want the very best outcome for what I'm doing, but it's got to be in 5 minutes. I don't think that's the best mentality. All right. Nobody wants okay. I'll do it this way. You're not the best meal you ever had. The best meal you ever had. I guarantee you it was not a microwave meal. Now you may have ate it again by warming it up in the microwave, but I guarantee you the best meal you say you ever had was actually cooked. And that person that cooked it, it probably had some original ingredients in it. And I'm talking about Thanksgiving type of food was made. Now, doing that, Marianne may be right, saying that I do it manually myself. I know what I want to put out there. I feel good about the shorts that I can possibly make. She's in the kitchen cooking it up and editing it up. Those things, guys, that you put time into could work. Now, I will say this. Sometimes after you go viral and you build an audience, it does get a little easier because your audience knows who you are. What we're trying to do is get discoverable content out there as much as we can, as fast as we can, but also making sure that it does have quality. Cook it up. Go back in the kitchen and really work on it. You got the long form content, and guess what? I was talking to my friend Alicio Way. Y'all know Alicio, right? Alicio is the guy, like very creative guy, and doing some really, really big things. And I said, hey man, we're ready for you. And he's like, I'm gonna get back into it. He just did some things moving around, and he's get back into doing lives. And I said, hey man, before you do that, you have so many long form content that, splicing some of those up could be really cool. And he agreed because I've been telling him that for years. So it's something that I think I really like. So there's a couple things that's here. Let's go with Jeremy really quick. Let me put this on a different screen so that it looks better. Hold on, guys. I got to go to my comment screen. That's my Zoom screen. Let's go to the comments here so we can see this the right way. Got tired of covering my face. Regarding captions, it said that up to 80% of Gen X and 50% of most adults watch with captions and or scrolling, stopping overlays are key. Jeremy, I really agree with that, guys. And remember, it is the first 1 to 2 seconds that's going to grab a person's attention. So when you think about what you have said, done, and what it looks like, be really, really thoughtful of those first couple of seconds. You have been scrolling. I am a professional TikTok scroller. And I know what piques my interest. I know sound piques my interest. I watch a lot of what do you call that, science stuff and conspiracy stuff. So when they use that funny conspiracy sound, dude, I'm in. Like, what are they gonna say interesting? Have you heard? Boom, that's a hook. And it may not be a hook for your particular niche or whatever, but it's a real hook. Okay, have you heard? So I'm just giving you that because that gets me all the time. And then finding ways to do, you got the audio, you got something that you're actually saying, and then you could have an actual visual hook inside of that short to kind of grab them, guys. I'm just telling you, these things really, really work. Here we go. So it wasn't a microwave meal, but at least it saved about a time to consume as a microwave meal. But I don't remember the microwave meal like I do the nice one. So It is really, really true. And I'm not saying that some of these things can't be quick. There's going to be some long form videos that you might spend any time on other than being live. Billy does the Amazon stuff, right? So if you have, man, I got my stuff ready to go, but I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of research. I'm gonna show this to the people, and we're just gonna talk today. And some of those things could really, really hit. That being said, those times that you are really into it and spend time producing a great show, it could go a long way. This is what we tell people all the time. We tell people, hey, I really want to, do better and go viral, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, Billy, it gets me all the time. Like conspiracy theories, I'm there like the whole time. Um, if you are really trying to connect with people, at the end of the day, you're trying to grow your channel. What people say? What do they say? Over the gurus tell you make better videos. How do you make better videos? You spend time trying to do all of the elements right to make better videos. You can also make better repurposing videos. Okay. We have gone from social media, which all your friends and family are just waiting on you to make that next video, to actually interest media. So people that are interested in what you're talking about, but there's so many videos out there right now, and you want to do your very best to put out great content even in the repurposing. So I do take an extra step from Opus using captions, and hopefully I can figure out how to do this really quick so you guys can actually see how I am doing it. And David Hunt has made it to the show today. David, thank you for coming through. And we're actually on step number 2. I need to get to step number 3, which is, I guess I did talk about it. So there's 2 things. Step number 2, so you want to extract them. Step number 3 was actually editing them. And I guess, extracting the videos and editing the videos to me are 2 different things because I make it 2 different steps. But it is important finding those videos, making sure you put them in a particular place, and then edit those videos. And in my case, I do have a secret, and my secret is captions. Okay. So just let everybody know, captions AI, I go in and use the AI to actually help me do what I need to do. All right. Now, the next thing, the next step number 4, is scheduling clips. So this could be very, very difficult and time consuming, but you have to start somewhere. I like to focus on my Instagram audience. I don't know why, but I do. My Instagram and Facebook, once I make a post there using my phone, of course, it connects to both of them. Then I have to go into YouTube, go into TikTok, and actually load them up. I do have a system that I could actually manage the post. I do that with TikTok and YouTube a lot, only because I have found TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I found doing Instagram that way, it doesn't like it. It doesn't like it at all. You won't get much traction at all when they see that it's a third party. So I don't use any of their features, and it's already complete. There's no music. I'm not using captions. I always tell people, like, using features from those platforms help you. We're trying to streamline this. So I have pretty much done the video, but at least I go in and load it up manually from my phone to Instagram, and it connects to my Facebook. And I will use the other program that is my social media managing program to actually schedule those other clips, TikTok, LinkedIn and YouTube. So I'm on 5 at a time with the same type content. I see what works. Okay. Now, if you have found a particular thing that works for you, the biggest thing I'm going to get to how we connect all of this and make sure that our time is not wasted. I've found that actually loading my own Instagram that's connected to Facebook will take care of that. And Facebook and Instagram, kind of, depending on what the reel is, It goes back and forth. Sometimes Facebook takes off and Instagram doesn't, but those numbers and analytics are all there together. So if you have a better way or something that you do, I think is really cool. Now with my scheduling, I once a day, every now and again, twice a day in the middle of the week. But Gary V is telling everybody you need to be uploading 9 pieces of content. Okay. Find the rhythm that works for you that you can continue over time. Let me say that again. Let me come full screen so I can say this. Find the rhythm that works for you that you could do over time. Consistency is the key. And what happens is, we try to do something, and we're, full head of steam, and we kind of just run out. Find a way to do it. If it's once a day, make it once a day. If it's twice a day, make it twice a day. If it's 3 times a day, I'm telling you, you will be a star. Something will hit. Put it out there. Something will hit. Just keep going with it, being consistent and doing it in a way that you can, constantly do it where people know that you're there. I will tell you, your friends and family will watch everything you do and never say a word, never like, never comment. Don't get mad at them. All right. They're not your audience. All right. They're just your support system. They see what you're doing, but they may not be your biggest cheerleader because they're not in your audience. They're not in your niche. You really go after people that are your tribe, people that you are. And we're all in the Ecamm fam, right? Finding like-minded people like the Ecamm fam that you can post and will encourage you as well. I will say this, there are people in every community that are better communicators and encouragers than others. So when you find those people that are great encouragers and will comment on your stuff, guess what you do? When they put something in or they upload a post, do the same to them. Like and comment. It is really that easy. All right, like and comment to other people's posts. I guarantee you that will go a long way, especially after you post something on Instagram or any platform that you can. Oh, wrong one. There I go again. Are you using IG edits? I have not used IG edits yet because, of course, my process is already long. I think I may have did one edit, and I do all of my work stuff, and then every now and again you'll see a video with me and my wife. I may do that inside of an edit with IG. So, and of course, that's one of the latest features that when you do that, it's gonna boost it because you're using their particular platform and its feature. So always be thoughtful about that. And that was a really, really good question. Okay. So now we've got to what did we get to? Scheduling. Take your time with that. Figure out what's best for you and just know where you are with all of that. And let me go here. Make sure that you have those links that are connecting back. All right. Make sure you have those links that are connecting back to the larger. That's why we're doing it, right? It's discoverable content, but you want them to figure out where that long form content is on YouTube. Now, I will tell you this: I don't do that part the best. I'm dumping clips out there. But the idea is that you find a way to let people know that this is a short form that is reproduced or being clipped from a long form edit. You want to go check out that edit. Okay, you want to do that. All right, so David's got a question here. I want to get to David's question. If you can't repurpose anything, if you don't purpose the original, you have to make the video live stream first. So yes, that you know what, David, I'll be honest with you, that was step number 1, but I took it off. Like, it's kind of like a given from what we're doing, right? You got to make the long form content. And I'm talking to everybody that's making long form content. That is what we do. Long form content sits on YouTube. the very best way for all of us to have on-demand content out there that is archivable enough for people to go back and to watch it. What we're doing on social media is creating what we call discoverable content targeted towards people that are interested in those themes. Okay? So if I have a show that I'm interviewing people from my city of Birmingham, who's who, right? I'm doing a who's who interview, talking about what they're doing and how people can connect with them in the city. All of my things are pointed towards people in the city of Birmingham. That is my niche. The people of Birmingham are people that are interested in what's going on in Birmingham, Alabama. Now that's a small niche, but that's the show that I want to do. Coming from radio, I'm in my groove when I'm interviewing friends that are in this city, right? You have to figure out what that niche is and who that audience is for you. Hopefully you're smarter than me and you have a show that reaches way far, that could have a worldwide reach of a niche that now you have millions of people in a niche that you can actually grab. All right? Millions of people you can actually grab. So that's what I want you to be thinking about. And you want to connect your clips back to the long form content, whether that's link in the bio, whether that's, you could do something as simple as putting this QR code like I have up here, or Instagram stories. You can actually put a link of it that people can actually hit. Inside of, you can have a link tree set up that links in the bio. Same thing, you can put a link tree up that's pointed towards that direction. I have a, do you guys actually use the, what is it called? BioLink. Do you guys use that? I use BioLink a lot. So if you do strick.bio.link, strick.bio, it's in the description. I use it in the YouTube description and say connect with me. Well, one of those things you can connect with is my subscribe to my channel that I'm doing, Strick City Live, and you hit that button, it's going to ask you to subscribe. Like, that's what should happen. I got to go back and check that, but that's what should happen. Okay, so those are all things that you could use to kind of connect with people that way. What we're doing here. So besides Opus, is there anyone using other apps, smart conversations, or vertical content that may only convert but also reframes? So there's a couple things out there. There is, yes, thank you so much, Val. So there is something other than Opus. There's repurpose.io. I'm sorry. And Katie was talking about one. I want to say it's Taja. You got somebody correct me on the one that she uses, but there are definitely others other than Opus that will help you repurpose your content. That I think are really, really cool. There are other ones out there. I got stuck with Opus. That happens sometimes when you get older. You like using a particular one and you keep going. But Repurpose.io would allow you to do it in several different formats as well. So you put the long form in and it'll cut it up in several different formats because, the vertical format is one, but then you have the 4x5. That's another particular post style that you can use for Instagram. They're more than just the verticals, okay? I'll be honest with you, man. I really get caught up in the look and creating, and I think that you should always be figuring out something different to do that one thing, which is to stop the scroll. Like when you're making these short form contents, not only thinking about, am I making a complete sentence? Is this a complete thought? Taja, that's it. Thanks, Val. Excuse me. Making a complete thought, but also you want to be sure that you can catch them in the front. Like, think about, I really, like, if you don't do anything, just try to do the first 5 seconds. Does it interest you in 5 seconds? So coming from the DJ world, I tell my wife this all the time. I really could tell you if a song is a hit, within from 10 to 30 seconds. I could tell you if a song is a hit or not. If I really, really like a song, what's up, Kirk? How it all works in the building. You guys, I don't know, like, how long does it take for you to figure out whether you like a song or not? Like, I think if you got to wait to the chorus and hear what they're talking about, it's too late. You know, I'm saying, like, my ear liking a song, it takes that quick. Now, I may dislike a song for its content, but I could tell you not whether it's a groove or, as the kids say, if it's a bop, all of that stuff, right? Are you backstage? Where, Kirk? I missed you. Oh, I mean, I don't even know. I didn't have it on. So there you go. I'm sorry, I didn't have it on. Oh my gosh. Kirk, come on. I didn't know you were backstage. Let me give you a spot. Guess number one. And I'm going to do preview mode. So everybody wants to see me working in the background, Kirk. So just give me a second here. Guys, I'm going to get Kirk on so we can continue to talk about all this. Because I think I'm at, I'm at step number 5. And we have 2 more to go. And Kirk is going to help us get through all of this. And, you know, if how it all works is in the building, guess what? You cannot go wrong.
Hey, man, I'm so excited to be here, my friend.
Man, that's what's up. I think I got you in. I do have you in. So now, Kirk, I'm in step number. Yes, you did hear the Ecamm ring. Distract him, Kurt. We're putting in the gold. So yes, I'm giving him the good stuff, and he's already distracted me, Billy. It is what it is. So here we go, Kirk. I'm at step number 5, which is connecting back to the full content. So you want to drive traffic to the full length content. Period. Right. So this is how it goes. I'm gonna build another thing for you over here, but the next thing is engage and amplify. So what I'm talking about on this part is, you know, if you have a video out there or if you have a short form content out there and you are not in the comments, you're missing out on valuable connections.
Yeah.
Okay? Valuable connections. I make it a point of mine, Kirk, to not only comment on other people's videos when I see them, people that I'm connected with, but I also, if someone says anything, I don't care if it's an emoji or whatever, I am going back in and talking to them some kind of way.
Yep.
Because it's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. It's such a well, first of all, if you talk about engagement, that is the cheat code. That's the metric is the comments. And is there conversation there? So and Strick does this well, especially on Instagram and other platforms. He's done this for me as well, even on LinkedIn. So many people will watch my videos, but they won't necessarily comment or engage. And Strick will not only engage, but he'll ask a question. And I think that's the type of engagement that really moves the needle. So you'll see these threads underneath each one of those comments because there's this back and forth between the creator and the person who viewed the video. So engage and amplify. I love it. It's a great step.
So what happens is you just never know where it will lead to or who's watching it. I've got comments from, you know, people you wouldn't expect that are watching the content. And you want to use that. You want to use questions. This is one of the reasons why I'm actually doing this show, and we'll do next week's show, you know, adding the animation part to all of this and just kind of reimagining even the whole long form content to get discovered. All of this makes sense to do it. And then some people will say, hey, man, I really like that. Hey, man, I really like that is still a comment.
It is.
You know, engage with that person. You just never know how far it would go. And ask a question for engagement. It really does work. It really does work. So that does help to amplify. I have noticed on Instagram, Kirk, tell me what if this is the same way for you to where
Mhm.
I am getting probably 70% of my views are coming from non-followers.
Absolutely. That's been my what I've seen as a trend as well.
Now, I don't mind it. I want my followers to get it, but man, whoever gets it and enjoys it, that's what I want, right? So I
Exactly.
think we have to be mindful of the fact that there are a percentage of people that you like. That's what I'm telling you. Your family members are not your audience, right? Your family member, or
No.
they are not your audience. So you want to be mindful of really, really doing your very best to be thinking about, okay, these people may not be on my list, but I'm glad that they are here.
And here's the thing I want to say here too, in terms of engage and amplify. A good friend shared with me is some strategy that works that has been working for them on LinkedIn, but I think it can work on any of the platforms, just depending on how you engage. And she talked about the sandwich. So she
Okay.
says she will comment on 2, 3, maybe even 5 posts, and then make her post, right? And then after she's made her post, she will go and comment on 2, 3, 4, a couple other posts. So
I like that.
she doesn't just post on the platform and walk away, but she's engaging with other people's posts and comments, specifically people who are in her niche or in her vertical, and then she'll make her post and then she'll engage with some others. And one of the real clinchers I found with both Instagram and LinkedIn is if you can engage with folks whose posts generally have a lot of engagement, right? You're following people and their posts are generally a lot, more popular, and they get hundreds of comments and stuff like that. If you can get to their posts early, your comment has more is more likely to be seen. And then when it's able to be seen like that, you want to make sure that your comment is relevant because you have a platform there. My co-host calls it. She's coined the phrase a comment creator. So not just content creator, but a
Okay.
comment creator. And she's had several comments go viral on TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn because she's not just saying, "Hey, that was good." Wow, keep pushing, excited for you, proud of you. She's actually adding more color, more insight, more perspective to the conversation, such that when people scroll down and see her comment, instead of them commenting, they'll comment under hers and say, I was going to say this, or man, I never thought of it this way. Thank you for your comment. So seek to be not just a content creator, but also a comment creator, and you'll see that residual come back in terms of engagement and amplifying your own message.
We used to say this all the time when we were starting out to go in YouTube to go to those people that are leaders in your
Yep.
niche, right?
Yep.
And actually
Yep.
comment. And just like you're saying, being one of the first comments on one of their things. But if the idea, no matter who they are, they are going to reply to your comment, especially if it's one of the first, right?
Come on.
So as they're replying, and you can almost have a conversation with these people inside of your
Right
comments.
there.
Now, I'm not saying everybody's gonna go back and forth with you, but it does give you the ability to be seen. So I
Yeah.
remember that while you were saying, I used to do this on YouTube, man. I had this really, really famous guy that was just killing it on YouTube, and I would always just go into his comments when he dropped videos and make a comment about the video, and I would get subscribers
Yep. Just from the
because
comment.
just from the comments. So who's this guy? Who is this guy commenting? Oh, that was cool. So let me go to his page, and they really would subscribe. So just saying, sometimes you got to go through some of those old school methods to
Love it.
make a difference. To make a difference. Let me go to this comment here and see if we can figure out what's going on. I'm gonna add you in real quick, Kurt.
Sure, sure,
So
sure.
I'm not by myself right here. Val has been hanging out with me. She said she was coming in for a short term time, but she really, really has been hanging out today. So
She
in a
has.
meaningful way, to
Yeah.
like some people just put random stuff, but like if you are the more meaning, oh, man, this is so true. You're
Yeah.
about it, and it more benefits
It
both
is
of you
both of
guys.
you.
And
Yeah,
I agree with that. I do agree with
totally.
that. It's
And
kind
I
of
got a
like what
chance
you
to
were
meet.
saying.
Yeah, I got a chance to meet. I think this is Ishan. I got a chance to meet him at Creator Camp a week or two ago, and yeah, I couldn't agree more, brother. That's it. She said, Jeremy Hubble says she wants her bacon, but yeah, that's it right there, Ishan. Here's another thing too, Strick, in terms of repurposing and expanding and amplifying. There, make sure we're always we're leveraging as many and as much as the tools as possible. I stumbled on my coaching call last Wednesday with my group. We were chatting about this collaboration feature that YouTube rolled out,
Uh-huh.
and we were looking at it, and we did, just kind of poking around at it, and then it just occurred to me right there during the coaching call that here I have a brand new channel that my podcast is on. It's called How It All Works. Actually, that's what I was chatting with in the chat today. And then I have my YouTube channel, which has, 12,000 subscribers. And I have never collaborated on any videos between my podcast channel and my regular channel. I haven't collaborated. And what happens when you collaborate is that the audience for both channels is able to see the content. So today's video that just dropped, I actually collaborated not only with my channel, but I collaborated with our guest channel. And that video it's done 1,000 times better in the first few hours of it releasing than any of the previous videos. And so we got to leverage and utilize some of the functionality and features of each platform, because that's actually going to
Is
give
it?
you another cheat code as well.
I really like this, and we talked about this with some of the other social media platforms as well. So,
Right.
when we talk about collaboration, can you tell us exactly how you do that now? Because I hadn't gone in to do that yet.
Yeah. So if you go into Studio, right? I don't know if you have the capacity to make me big, but if you go into to Studio, let me see here. Let me go. Yeah, and you go to your videos. I'll leave it.
No, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you.
Okay. All right.
Uh,
Let me see if
uh,
I can do this as well, because I got to make sure. Okay, there we go. So if you go into Studio and you go see where it says content right here.
uh-huh.
So if I've got it, this is the video that I just dropped today. And when you go to that video, right underneath where you have playlist, is this for kids? Right around here. Where is it? Right here. Right underneath altered content, you have this section that says collaboration,
Uh-huh.
and you click there to manage collaborators. And so here you in this instance, my guest is the speaker director for Breath of Life, and then of course my channel, and I just collaborated with both of them. And you can type in, if I type in Ecamm right now, boom, there's Ecamm. And if I click that, I can decide whether or not I want to allow them to see analytics or not. And then I create this link, and then I can send that link to Ecamm and say, hey, I'd like to collaborate with you on this video. And so what that does now is when I look at this video, I'm going to just go to the video real quick. There we go. And I'll pause it so that it doesn't play. But when I go to that video, you'll see here that all three creators, so the new channel that I've created for my podcast, the guests channel, and then my channel, which has a lot more subscribers, all are collaborators on this video. And that's what the algorithm is using to push that video out to the audience. And so look, I mean, I don't get 127 views even in the first week of the video, but yet here today in the first 6 hours, I'm already at 127. So again, just utilizing the tools, functions, and features that they've given us to be able to showcase and do some of this kind of work, expand your reach, just like you talked about, and expand your amplify your messaging. The understanding what these functions and features mean, it can be a game changer. So
I like
happy
that.
to share that.
I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. So the question is, I think it's Isan, is there any difference between starting a collaboration on one channel versus the other? Have you seen any difference? Of course, this is new, but I think you go with the larger channel or the
Well,
channel
you
that.
you have to start the collaboration on the channel that owns the video.
Right.
So there's not really an option there. Like, so I would, if on my larger channel I own the video and I want to collaborate with the smaller channel, there's no way to switch it. If on the smaller channel I own the video and I want to collaborate with the larger channel, whichever channel owns the video is the one that actually has to do the collaboration. So and I guess you could play with that if you wanted to, but yeah, it's a great question. And again, hey, we're all learning here. I want to make sure, make that clear. We're all learning, and just like Strick said, we're all learning here. This feature is weeks old at this point, and it took some time to roll out. In fact, on my smaller channel, didn't have it for a few days, but it did pop up eventually, and so now I've started to use it, and I've actually gone back to some of the earlier videos and started collaborating on those. But the truth is, while my podcast is different than my regular channel content, it's still speaking to that same audience. And so if where there's synergy there, where it makes sense, it could be a good thing. Now, my last guest on the podcast before today's episode has, I think she's got something like 5 million subscribers. So I did send her a link to see if she would collaborate. I haven't heard back, but if she does, this could be that could be a major game changer for me, for her, to get some of even a 10% of her audience to watch that video. It could completely change the trajectory of my channel. So you also want to think that thing through. So hopefully that makes sense, everybody.
And David, you're right. It's what Kirk is saying. It's another way to repurpose as well. I guess at one point I had to make this another point, but that is definitely a way. So question, great idea. Is this after you create a video or for new videos for collaborations too? Good question. So I'm thinking you can collaborate on a video that's upcoming, like a live.
Yes, you can collaborate on an upcoming video. In fact, I think that's the best way to do it. I went back and collaborated on the videos that I already had published, and I really haven't seen any bumps in the viewership on those videos. But today's video, because I published it with those collaborations already in place, I saw a significant increase. And again, I think we're all going to have to play with this. So.
Yeah, Billy, you might be the first one. They might approach you first. I'm sure it's happening already. Yeah. Somebody's going to sell a collaboration. All this stuff is monetizable, right? Why not?
I think so.
Why not? Hey, man, think about people actually sell YouTube channels.
Yeah, they do.
They get it to a certain point and they sell it. And you can buy a channel with so many subscribers.
You got to think about it as well. If a channel has, and this is the thing that's, you got to think about it though. If a channel has the same audience you want to speak to, it could be very much worth collaborating with them on that video so that you can get in front of that channel. Because what's going to happen is the algorithm is going to suggest your video to a similar audience that it has already been suggesting the other channel. Right. So that's the idea. And so my guest channel today, his videos now normally average around 5,000 to 7,000 views per video. So getting my video in front of that same subset.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Because you're always trying to get to, on YouTube, you're trying to get to that YouTube recommendation, man. Like when they start recommending you, like that's where it is. Okay. Let's do my last one because I want to be sure I get through number 7 is to analyze, learn, and
iterate.
So when you get to this part of all of this, you want to do your very best job to make sure that you're looking at what's hitting and engaging your audience, whether it is a guest, because I do interview just like you. You just want to be sure. So you want to refine your system for better results every time. All right. You really, really want to be thinking about that. And I think that as you do this, with analyze, this is something that Brent used to say all the time. You want to look at your metrics, what is happening with this short form content, because then you could think, is my metrics telling me that I'm taking too much time and spending too much money on these shorts? Can I do it a different way based on these metrics?
Yep.
Okay. What video actually hit? What did people really like and when? Like, Instagram tells you, like, in the first couple of minutes, like, if it's tracking better than your normal videos. You want to be looking at how it's tracking non-followers versus followers. How much average time are they watching it? That's a big deal. And one of the reasons why I think it is a big deal is that at some point, I didn't make this a repurposing like part of the guide, but you can hear this
Mm.
from me now. There's going to be a video that hits. And I'm
That's
going to
it.
tell you when it hits, you want to put money behind it. You want to boost that video. Okay.
Come
I don't
on.
think anybody has, somebody may have said this, but few people talk about spending money on these platforms. They may say, oh, it's useless. I mean, Gary Vee would tell you, use organic videos to actually figure out what your audience likes. And if you have a video that your audience said they like, I'm telling you, it may not be a boost, but it really could be a ad for your
Mercy.
channel. Because
That's
we're
so
not going to
good,
talk
man.
about the boosting or ad. Just make it an ad. Boost it, make it. I don't know. We're not talking about tons of money. I'm not telling you to spend thousands of dollars, but spend money on boosting it and see how further it can go.
Wow. 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 Man. I love the whole concept of analyze, learn, and like, even though that this is like
Iterate. Mm-hmm.
your final point, but it's like 3 points in one.
It
And I
really is.
don't want anybody to miss it, because this is good for your content. This is good for repurposing, but this is also good for life. Analyze, learn, and iterate. Analyze, learn, iterate. And here's a great part about learning, the analyzing and the learning process. You can analyze what you're doing and sell what you've learned. Uh-oh. You can analyze what you're doing, and then coach what you've learned.
There you go.
And then you can, as you're coaching others to do what you've done, then you see what could be tweaked. And this is where the iterate comes in. This is
Exactly.
where you're changing it and you're taking it to another level. It's like, well, we got this result last time. We're making this one tweak. On the call this past Wednesday, we made a change of one word in a YouTube title, one word, and we're seeing a major result. That
That's
tweak,
cool.
that is what
That's
we
cool.
call that's iteration, right?
It's
And so these are
iteration.
the types of things that Strick is talking about. Don't miss it. Analyze, learn, and then iterate. Iterate
Yeah.
is taking action. That's putting one foot in front of the other. That's just looking at it and saying, hey, that's interesting, and then walking on your way and then continuing to do life as you've always done it. But to actually recognize that there's something here and you take action based on it, that's the iteration process. And I love it.
So true. So I want to thank Val for coming through. She says she's got to run, but thank you, Val, for being a part of the conversation
Always good
today.
to have you, sis.
Actually, now that I think of it, yeah, we can sell collab placements to brands you work with. That is
Yes, you
so
can.
much of a good. So they're using user-generated content. Sometimes people put it on, the brands put it on their platform. Sometimes they
Right.
ask for the user to put it. So why not collab now? And if you are collabing, it gives an opportunity for it to run a little bit faster, and the brand wins. So why not you win a little bit more? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Robert says, great live tonight. I'm so glad I caught. Oh, man. Thank you so very much,
Always good to
Robin,
hear
for
that.
being here. Of course, we like the good things, right? We love the good comments. And so I have the QR code up here. And Kirk, you know how these QR codes work, right?
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah,
know how they
absolutely.
work. So
Absolutely.
basically, I have the guide with all 7 of the tips. I have a goal, and then I have a pro tip at the bottom. So you get a little bit more of a context that you can actually read through it all. And if you are using this, I think it can help you. So why do a guide like this? The guide is going to help you. I've already did the work or putting it in steps for you is basically what I'm saying, Kurt. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Like a pro. So the guide is going to help you be able to get it, just your name, email address, and then you download the PDF PDF is like 2 pages or 3 pages, I think it is, and you can run through this. Again, I've done the work. All you have to do is follow the steps.
So good.
Now, for me, Kirk, what's the next step for me with the guide? I will take this show, and because Ecamm has the SRT of this, right? The
Yep.
SRT files, which is the transcripts that I don't have to use the script for. I've already paid for this. All right, it's in my Ecamm, so it's
So true.
recording this to my hard drive, and I also get what we call the SRT file. I have the transcript that I now could load up into ChatGPT
ChatGPT. Yep.
along with my guide, and then
Woo.
I can build out a ebook of this.
Talk
So
about
not
it.
only do you have the guide, you have the ebook based off the conversation we're having today, and I'm going to take some of Kirk's stuff too and put it in the
Hey,
ebook.
why not? Let's go.
And then basically you have a guide, you have an ebook, and then you have the long form content that you're collaborating with on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So-
This is a master level of repurposing right here. I mean, what you're talking about now. I mean, I had an opportunity to do a 2.5 hour video recording with somebody who paid me to do this. They were like, "Hey,
Wow.
man, want you to interview me. Here are all the questions. I just want you to kind of ask them in your own words." And I was a little confused, Strick. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, what are you going to use this for? What are you going to use this for? And he came and was like, "Man, I'm going to the transcript of this is going to be my book." And I was blown away, man. I mean, 2.5 hours. I think we asked about 15 questions. He gave some very robust answers. But I mean, it's just amazing what we can do with repurposing. I just think that we're just scratching the surface sometimes when we use, the little, applications to grab clips from our long form content and to repurpose them on socials. That's not the only way to repurpose. And I think what Strick is sharing with you is there is a masterclass in terms of how we can repurpose that SRT file, the ebook. It's all content. It is all content. And that is an absolutely phenomenal way to be able to take what you've already done and put it out there in a different format.
So Billy is asking this question, and let's dive into this really quick.
Yeah, let's dive in.
Because I think this is important. So with ChatGPT, I'm able to take what we call the SRT file from Ecamm. So Ecamm does a couple of things based on the settings that you have inside of to your hard drive. It's got the video that you've done. But it also has what we call the SRT file, and that's the transcript that it has is already made for you. So it sometimes it's used for closed captioning, like with YouTube, but you have that SRT file, which is your transcript of the show. I can also take the link from YouTube as well right now into ChatGPT. Okay, so I can take that link as well. But basically, I'm taking what I already have with these steps. Okay, I have the steps, and then I have this long form video. So I have the guide, I have the long form video, and then whatever else material that I want to use, and I dump it into ChatGPT and tell them, "Hey, from this, can you help me put together a book with these steps? Give it more context, use some of the stories from this video to add more content," and I have an ebook. Now, ebooks, from my definition, I don't, ebooks are not long books. It's like I actually tell people this way: you have a book, you take the first 5 chapters of that book and take out the stories and just give the content of those pages as an ebook, and from that, those 5 chapters, you make 5 different guides that you can give as what we call lead magnets.
Every last one.
You just kind of like folding it down. Now, you may have 10 to 12 chapters in a book, so you're not giving out the whole book as an ebook, and you're not telling the stories in the ebook. It's just content, and basically you're providing yourself an opportunity for people to get more information. There's some people that would actually want the guide in the ebook and never watch the long form content.
So true. So
but we
true.
want to be able to have all of that available so they can get it. So please make
Yeah.
sure you repurpose the like button and make it solid. Come on, David, man, I love that.
David,
I
you
love
gotta
that.
love it. Make it
So,
solid.
so what do you think? Would you add anything else to that, Kirk?
No, man. I think I was watching through. I'm glad I was able to jump on for the last two, but no, it's solid. It's solid, and I just think you got to really the the iteration process of your workflow is a very critical point, and I think things like this, guides like this, what Strick has already done the work for you to be able to have. So I would recommend you scan that QR code right now and go ahead and get your copy, and then maybe even send the link. Once you get the link on your phone, you can send that link to some friends and say, hey man, I'm downloading this guide, go ahead and get your copy as well. But the reason why I wanted to go back to that is because having a structure like this, it enables us to see our process through a different lens,
That's
and we
right.
can take it to another level. Truth is, man, a good friend, the term said that you are in the bottle, right? So if I'm in the bottle, I can't see the label,
Come on now.
right? If I'm in the bottle, I can't see the label. The label has the ingredients. The label has how much riboflavin, how much potassium, all that stuff. But I'm in the bottle. I'm the content. I'm inside the bottle. So you got to have somebody else who's able to look at the content of the bottle and tell you what to do. And so that's what Strick's doing for you right now. He's giving you a guide that will enable you to see your content, your process, your workflow through a different lens, and that's going to give you insight on how you can get to another level. So that's how I always look at it, and I'm excited for those of you who are going to take the opportunity to grab that guide.
And you know what I tell people, Kirk, is that these are the steps that I've come up with to kind of help you kind of get started. But you may have something
Mm-hmm.
else. You may really dive into the editing different than me. It may
So
not
true.
be, you may say, hey, I use Opus Clips and I just put it up. That may be you. We used to do
That
it
may
that
be
way.
you.
I do it a little differently now. There's several types of videos that we do, or
Oh yeah.
the style, the
Oh yeah.
niche for your audience could be different. You can add or take away a step. Most importantly, we're kind of giving you a guide to
Mm.
some rails for you to stay inside of to kind of help you get going. And then as you go, the last portion, you said it, I've said it, you analyze, you learn, and you iterate. So if you want to do something different, and I really think that as you grow, it slows down a little bit. You don't have to, we're trying to do discovery type content. Once you are quote unquote discovered, maybe the content or how you do the shorts are a little different just so you can get the masses out. You can get more out a little
Absolutely.
quicker. But you
So
got to
good,
start from
man.
somewhere. And
Got to start.
Marianne loves that. You can't read the label from the inside of the bottle. You can't. That was really good too.
Hey, man.
That was
Those
really good.
one-liners, man, sometimes it really helps to drive home the point. I just know that that's been a major impact in my life, and my story, and my journey as a creator, as an entrepreneur, and all of the above. It's just been a major thing to have people who can come alongside and give you insight and perspective on what you're doing, because they're not in your process. They're not in the bottle. So yeah, that's been a major success matrix for me. So glad to share.
Well, that's awesome, man. I really do appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me tonight. You
Absolutely,
always
brother.
add something, man. Always, always. So, Kirk, send us to his page today so you can actually see it. But, Kirk, do you mind just going through it one more time, saying how they can connect with you?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can let me you can hit me up. Of course, kirkarnugent.com is my website, but I think the better thing to do is to just head on over to. I'm gonna see if I probably can't type it into the chat because that's I'm on a different account today. But yeah, just go to nugent.com. Let's just do it that way. Let me make it real simple. kirkarnugent.com. If you want to hit me up, if you want to hang out, if you want to learn more about what we got going on, kirkarnugent.com is my main website, and that's where the party's happening.
That's what's
So
up.
a lot of stuff going on over there. So excited for that. I'm gonna actually try and type this in here.
I have to find it on my end. So let me go to, was that interview mode?
I
No,
think
it's,
I don't
I
know if
got,
I actually don't know if it went through. I don't know. But anyway, I'll put it on. I'll put it in guest chat and see if you can put it up. But yeah,
Gotcha.
kirkonduke.com is the website, and from there, you know, I like I have this clarity call thing that I do, and it is I did a clarity call this past Friday with a lady, and she just looked at me and was like, I'd have paid $5K for this.
That's awesome, man.
But I'm just my whole point is there's just something about getting unstuck, and having somebody to really help you know what that best next step is. So people like Strick, people like myself, people like Billy, Doc, Mary Lou, and several others, Luria, where we just kind of have set ourselves up to be that for so many others. And so there's a lot of resources within the community. So yeah. Oh, there he is. There it is. Thank you so much.
And
I
there's
see
an
it
M in there
the
for
chat.
whatever reason, but there shouldn't be.
But it still works. It
There
still
you go.
works. So I appreciate it, man. Thank
No
you
problem.
for putting that through there. That's dope.
No problem. And you're so right. So I do want to say this, and let's end with this from Marianne.
Marianne.
So you won't know if something will work if it only stays inside of your head. Get it done, repurpose, and then analyze. So that is one of the things. That is one of the things that I think that is so important for all of us to remember. If you're not getting the work done, like we teach this all the time, you got to get it done.
Yeah.
There's no
You gotta get it
repurposing
done.
if there's not a long form content thing out there.
Wow.
So there you go.
No, you hit the nail on the head. I often tell folks the best part of the creator process is review.
Right.
But you can't get to review until you actually hit the record button. Like you can't hit review until you publish a piece of content. You can't get to review unless you've actually done the thing. You got to do the work in order to be able to review the work. So, I mean, and any high performing individual, whether they're an athlete, they're a CEO, a professional of any sort, they all review film. And as a creator, that review process is critically important,
Right.
to being able to iterate, as you said, to learn, to analyze, to learn, and to iterate. And so, yeah, review. I love review, but you can't get to review unless you've done the work. So that's a critical point.
All right. So I said I was going to end with that, but then Jeremy
Come
tried
on.
something else. Most importantly, remember, failure is part of the process.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
people got to learn how to fail. Man, you got to learn how to lose.
Fail fast, fail often, man. I love that. It's part of the process.
Winning will come. Winning will come.
Yeah.
It will come.
Nothing worth having is, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody wants anything easy. They want to be able to brag and say, man, I really worked for this. You know what I mean? So yeah, failure is part of that story. It's got to be.
All right. So they keep dropping these jewels. What they with trial and error. You gotta get some errors. You gotta get some errors. Man, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Spoken as a Saints fan. Hey, listen, I'm an Auburn fan, brother. I know about losing. We're gonna win one day. This is gonna be big. It's going to be big.
I'm a Bucks fan, and so today's a good day, my friend.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys. Next week, I'm excited about next week. I did this guide in this form only because I wanted to do next week. Someone asked me on a show when I was showing them some of the animation I did, how to do it. Where's the workflow for it? So I'm going to do the workflow for the animation, how to add animation. So it's just discoverable content repurpose. So you have your long form content. So instead of doing clips, you can actually make a completely different thing. So the ebook and the guide, that's part of making something different. But you can also make a podcast using other people's voices. And Kirk, Notebook LM is not the only person doing that.
I love that.
So
You're right.
Other ways to do it. And we're going to talk about that next week. So I can't wait to see you guys next Sunday. All right. Thanks again, Kirk.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, this is DJ Strick, and I would like to thank you for watching another edition of The Stream Show.